As a small biz pro, I saw we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, I saw we grow, using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, Crystal Mitchell.
Good afternoon. This is the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. And today, Crystal and Dawn, we're going to have a fabulous show, right?
Yes, we are. Awesome show. We've been, it's been a pretty interesting, awesome week. Last weekend, you guys know I was out of town.
Yes.
At this phenomenal training, speakers training, camp, boot camp, so to speak. And I had a fantastic time, met some amazing people. And so the speaking, they're going to, the whole purpose is to be an impact speaker and to speak globally.
So what's an impact speaker?
Someone that has a message that is delivered and it resonates with a person from wherever their core, their spirit, they're there. And so that's kind of how I speak.
That's good.
People tell me I'm kind of like a Pied Piper.
Yeah.
And so,
make things happen.
Yeah. And so the guy, his name
Absolutely.
is Dr. Ruben West. He is, this is his speaking bureau.
Yeah.
And he is just great. Sorry about that, guys. And so it was cool. So I met a lot of amazing people. So here's an interesting thing, that people in the Midwest are, which we know, they landlocked. So they're not as advanced in business and concepts and ideas as we are. And I think I mentioned to you, I was talking to a number of people about being business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. They didn't even know that they could do certain contracts. They understood contracts from the federal level,
right?
But they don't know anything about contracts from the city or the county level. And so, of course, with just looking for contracts for the federal level, that's very competitive. If your business is not you got to be on point, right?
Right.
And so we talked about that. And so some of them, I've made some connections. Quite a few of them are going to be on the show.
Good. Very good.
So they're going to Skype in. And
well, I want to know, what did you learn? I don't care about who was there. What did you learn? What's going to make me a better speaker?
What's going to make you a better speaker? So, I mean, this is stuff you know already because it's tabletop. We did that. We did an exercise where we do the table topics. We also did an exercise where someone comes up behind you. They put a word on a card, and then they hand it to you, and then you
got to speak about it.
Incorporated in whatever the conversation.
That's fun.
You was having. So
that
was
like
a lot of fun.
Were you good at it?
I was.
Let's test you out really quick.
And then, of course, the table topics, I can speak off the cuff. That's usually how I speak off the cuff. And impact is more speaking from the moment, right? As opposed to you have some key points and factors that you want to talk about and speak about, but you don't have a written agenda that you memorize.
It's like being an extemporaneous speaker.
Right, exactly. And trainer.
Yeah.
I mean, a trainer and educator, right?
Yeah.
So as you're speaking from what's going on at that moment, not necessarily what you've written down, because you adjust it to your audience and to the moment. And so there was some very interesting. There's one young lady, and it is really appropriate today in the Me Too movement.
Right.
So this young lady, she was working as a secretary for this medical manufacturing company. And her child, when she had her fourth child, he was born with an illness that required medication and treatment of about $10,000 a month. And her insurance did not pay for it. So she knew she had to make a change in how she got the money. She was going to take care of her kids, right? Hey, Gwen, how are you? And so she became a salesperson for the company. And so she started making so much money that she was making more money than the doctors were. And this was a company that was owned by doctors.
So now they want to change the plan.
Right. They actually fired her. They told her
See?
that she wasn't a doctor, so therefore she shouldn't be making that kind of money.
Yeah.
Right.
Now she was making money for them because she was going out selling medical equipment.
Yeah.
Wow.
So what
That's
she did,
usually how it is,
right?
man.
But she turned the tables.
Yeah.
She bought the company.
That's what I'm talking
Wow.
about.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
That's what
Poetic
Gilbert's talking about.
justice.
So I
That's
thought
what
that
I'm
was
talking about.
phenomenal.
Yes.
And so she won quite a few awards.
You're skipping back to what went on there. I want to know what you learned. We heard that. Give us some secrets. That's what we want to know.
So we talked about that. We talked.
Did you get a chance? Did you get a 5-minute? Give a 5-minute speech? Did you get a chance to do
Actually
that?
did. We
Did
recorded.
they critique you?
Yes.
Okay, but
Actually, they didn't critique. What they did was at each of the tables. Yeah, they did. They gave feedback.
So what was the
at the
feedback you received?
That I was very passionate. I was very knowledgeable.
Tell us the bad stuff, Crystal.
There was no bad stuff. There was no bad stuff.
No, Crystal's an excellent speaker on many topics. That's why I love her.
So I met with this guy who is an ambassador for an African country called Burundi, and he has been appointed to go out. He has some initiatives that they want to address in Africa, and entrepreneurship and health and wellness and so forth. So he's come. He's been looking for a partnership with a speaking bureau or people that are speakers, but they really believe their message. It's not about making the money.
Yeah.
You know, the money will come, but they're not selling their packages and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So that's what he found with the black belt speakers, and he was really it resonated with his spirit, and so he's partnered up with them. And so that's how they're going to become global. They're going to move around. But a couple of women already have spoken in Dubai.
Really?
Well received in Dubai.
That's unheard of. That's unusual.
Oh yeah, they were.
Usually they don't give women a lot of front rows in Dubai.
Right. Yeah. These women. Now, mind you, the message is being translated to quite a few of them.
Yeah.
They came up, and there was a young lady that's a media mogul. She just does her thing. So she captured it, and these women were surrounding them at the end, going, "Oh my God, this is life-changing stuff."
Really? Did you videotape anything?
I did. Yeah, I have some stuff that's videoed.
But you're holding on to it.
I'll share.
I'm still trying to get the Wednesdays information.
So
we have so much going on here on the show. This is why I love the show. Monday and Wednesday we have classes. Where are the videotapes?
The Wednesday. Well, first of all, I'm doing a Monday night class,
Yes.
QuickBooks. People are just so excited. In fact, so excited they want me now to do an accounting bookkeeping class without the software,
Right.
Really?
just helping them understand
Yes.
the concepts. I told them I don't even know what to do with this. 'Cause I ain't never had anybody.
They
ask
want
me to-
Crystal
Right.
2.0.
Yeah. 2.0.
That's good stuff.
But the digital marketing class,
Yeah.
off the chain. So Wednesday night was how to set up a website that can be monetized,
Yeah.
and also your hosting company is important for monetizing. So he was going through the sources that you receive revenue with a website.
Yeah.
So one of them is through ads. So the ads are the banner ads that come up around the top, the sticky down the side, and around the bottom, right? So and then driving traffic using your content, which all of us have incredible content. And then, so he was showing this one company that they do, hey Candace, they post twice a week on Monday and Thursday only. They have a cooking foodie blog, and they make net gross $95,000 in a month.
Really?
Consistently.
Per month.
And then they make their net after their expenses.
You said 95,000. You said 9,500.
No, I said 95,000.
You said 95,000.
95,000. 95.
You want to make sure you heard it right.
I'm gonna start blogging and cooking. That's what I'm gonna start doing. $95,000 a month.
Right.
Gilbert, what's that a year?
Oh man, that's more than $1 million.
Oh gosh.
More than $1 million.
Are there any men there?
It's about one.
Single
man there?
It's about almost 1.2 million.
$2 million.
I'll be
And that's just on So the largest portion, that's overall. So there's 5 ways. Through ads, through sponsorship, through your own product, and through membership.
Okay, that's 4.
4. And then the last one is... Oh, I can't remember the last one.
It did say blog, right?
Well, that blogging is what's generating the content. That's the ads. So through ebooks.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and selling ebooks for other people. So, we get authors on this show all the time.
Yeah.
So we're talking about us creating a link, and then their book is being sold from our site,
right.
and then they're providing affiliate marketing.
That's pretty awesome.
Funds.
Sounds good to me.
So that's about
awesome.
5,000 to 7,000 a month. Sponsorship, which is, someone like you get an ad and they sponsor the show.
Right.
That's about this company, about 22,000. And these are not corporations. So, corporations are making money out the whatever, the
Are
CNN.
they sole props?
These are just sole props.
Wow.
And most of them are just bloggers who looked at making money. And then he showed us one where this guy has, and he only does this. He only has, membership. So membership is his content, I can't remember what he does. I think it's something in the tech world. He charges $35 for a member per month. And he has about 13,000 members. So do the math on
You
that.
must have a loyal following.
Yeah.
So that's about 400. That's
Yes.
450,000 a month just on membership. I think
Don,
we
you and I
all
are messing up.
all of
We're
us.
messing
I'm
up.
in the process of setting all this up. Y'all messing up, not me. I'm in the process. By January, it's on and cracking.
Yeah.
It's on and
Right.
cracking.
Yes,
So
yes.
you
2019, baby.
2019 is on.
So the room
So
is.
Go ahead.
The room is packed, and every week we get new people. They're so excited
Right.
that they don't even know what to do. And on top of that, we're going to create a platform where we can refer out. So obviously, you're coming in. Not everybody's great writers,
Right.
So there's someone there that we'll have to have an editor and writer that can help with captions and making sure they're using the right keywords so that they move up
Right.
in the search engine.
And how many more weeks is the class?
We're doing this ongoing.
At first, it was scheduled on for 4 weeks. Now you're doing ongoing?
Ongoing.
See what happens here at the business zone? I hang out with the two of them. Yes.
That's what we do
That's
here.
awesome. So,
And we're going to move it around the city.
Yeah.
okay.
So-
So do you have a structure to it to where is it done in individual classes, and then you can go back and repeat class 1, class 2, class 3? Is it kind of, you know what I mean?
What it is
So that is it going to repeat itself? Or?
Yeah, some of them will repeat themselves. Right now, we're just going through the fundamentals of what you need to do to set up a website, or if you have a website, if it can be optimized for revenue generation. Most of our websites are not. And then we're talking about blogs. So soon, eventually, we'll talk about the content that goes in blogs. Being creative, so you creating blogs and posts that are engaging to people. Then we actually these are totally free classes on Wednesday
I was
night.
just going to ask you how much
Right.
does it cost.
So
they're
these
all
are
free?
totally free. But then behind the scenes, we're going to start developing a library of training classes, boot camp type, where you can go back to refer.
Right.
And this is on Wednesday nights.
The classes on the free classes on Wednesday night, and
From what time to
from
what time?
5:30 to 7:30.
And where's it
5:30
located?
to 7:30 Wednesday nights
At the Urban League at
Urban League.
4401 Crenshaw Boulevard and Suite 201.
And
Is
the
there any
name-
way do they need to call in and register for the class?
Yeah, no, they can
Just
just
show
come
up?
on in. We get them all signed up when they get there. And then after that, so that's that part. So now you have to, how you going to continue to do this, and where do we generate money,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So we're going to generate money because you all know that when it comes to creating websites and blogs, and also a mobile app, that there are some people who are going to be capable of doing that on their own. They're going to be certain people going to say, "Hey, can you just do this for me?" So we've already getting those calls already,
Yeah.
and then we'll refer those.
When you
out.
say we, do you mean like us three as in?
Well,
I have to be clear.
I
don't want
love
my money get mixed up.
I love your sense of clarity. I love it.
I'm here for when you miss stuff. Okay?
I know.
Especially when she gets to talking. I got you.
I hear you.
She keeps saying we. I need to understand what we mean.
So the we here is going to operate on the Business Zone platform that is going to be used to generate. So if all of us are contributing, we should be and driving traffic. We should have millions of people.
95,000 a month.
Right. I think we can share.
That's our target right there,
That's
baby.
the target. Yeah. So I have a couple of commercials for you.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Good.
Tell our audience real quickly about the commercials that we're going to be doing here during the segment.
So we have, we will have yours, right? And now I'm doing something new. I'm adding in we've been on the air for a couple of months. We're in our third year. So we've interviewed some amazing people.
Yes.
So now I'm creating a little video collage every week that will have some of our guests on there. And
Past guests.
Past guests, and so that's gonna be aired on the show, and then it will go on Facebook and
I was referring to the commercials, the $40 commercial spot. I got you 3 people that are interested in the $40 commercial spot here.
Oh well, that's
what I'm
absolutely
fantastic. So they're watching it, so they want to know some more information on the $40 and have their commercial aired on the Business Zone. I don't know if it's once a week. If they pay $40, is that just for one show, or if they pay, is that for the whole month? Have you thought about that yet?
We'll work on the details. In fact, we actually have hired or contracted or commissioned a marketing promotional team.
Okay.
And so if they are interested, they need to reach out to either myself or Gilbert, but you can reach us contact us at the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert.com. And then we will send you over the marketing kit and direct and refer you over to our team.
Yes, I'm out there making moves for us already.
I like it.
I'm moving a little ahead of the plan. But that's what I do. So
girl, move.
The $40 is just a general level, and I guess the package will tell you the other options you may have. So.
Right. And then you will be aired doing the spot on the show. And then I think we can blast it on our Facebook and our other outreach as well.
Sounds good.
I think that sounds fantastic.
Well, Crystal, sounds like you had a fabulous last 7 to 10 days.
I have. Great. Overshadowed the craziness that's going on in all over the other part of the world.
You know how we try to distract ourselves? That's what that is. That's, the things that we do is for distraction purposes. So tell me about you, Dawn. What have you been doing over the last 7 to 10 days since our last show?
Well, since I aired nationwide on the Blend talk show,
yes.
as the fitness expert and recurring host. You'll hear more about that shortly. Life has just been incredibly awesome.
Been getting lots of calls from Hollywood.
Yes, absolutely, yes. I got some free tickets to go to do an event that costs $600 to come in.
Really?
Yes, people are recognizing.
All right, look at that.
Who I am.
See?
I'm just having fun.
And she had in the gym the other day, she had an overflow of students.
Because they're watching the Blend?
Yes, absolutely. You'll hear more about the Blend shortly. It's an amazing show.
I'm going to have to talk to the executive director here to see if I can get a slot on the Blend too. I need some notoriety.
So you get a chance to talk to them. They are here. Other than that, I've been training. I've been working, building my platform so I can make this $95,000 a month. Yeah, and find my husband in the process. Hi, sweetie.
That's nice. You're acknowledging him.
He's out there somewhere.
Does he know it's him?
I know he is. He's still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, you know who he is, but does he know it's him?
Well, he'll know soon.
And if he don't, it's okay. I'm making $95,000 a month. Who needs a man?
Beat him off. Yeah, there you go. I have to beat him off with sticks. And how about you, sir?
Well, for me, I did a training session this morning with the Vermont Slauson Economic Development Center. They wanted to learn about Small Biz Pro.
Okay.
So they're rolling it out for their staff. They had about 13, 14 people there, so we had to teach them how to use it, how to manage their documents, upload, retrieve it, using their laptop, their smartphone, etc. So it was pretty good. They're very excited right now. They've been using it to send documents to the city of Los Angeles and other contract providers. So it's a good thing.
That's cool. That's cool.
And
he was supposed to come to training on Monday morning.
I didn't get the memo. I'm sorry.
We had such a great conversation on Friday. He talked about how great I was, how awesome a trainer I was. And he spoke very highly of me. And again, he refuses to show up. I don't get that part.
So you think that was just words?
I'm starting to think it's a bunch of just bullshit.
You know, I wanted to come to her training until I saw that chapter of The Blend where she was working out that lady so hard. I'm going, no, I can't do that.
We were doing low impact exercise.
They haven't even done a burpee on the blend
Oh,
as of
my
yet.
Lord.
That's when you enter intensity.
Look at Crystal and tell Crystal, congratulations. Congratulations.
Congratulations,
She
Crystal.
is doing full out burpees.
Oh, my Lord.
She went from half burpees to low impact burpees. She's doing full out.
So she's
burpees.
doing high profile burpees.
Listen, she went from full out burpees on the floor to burpees with weights in her hand.
Oh, my soul.
I am so proud of my friend.
I'm so proud.
I know she had me doing whatever these are, the arm things with
The arm curl.
what, 30 pounds?
She was doing bent over rows. It's a back exercise. She had a 30-pound barbell weight, but she took it with both hands. She's just pulling up and down. It was
Man.
good. She's stronger than she thinks, and she was training today.
She's a better
She didn't try to cheat me out of any of the numbers today.
She's a better trainee than me.
You won't even show up.
Someday I will. Someday I will.
So Candace says, well, first of all, the QuickBooks is amazing, but she says, Gilbert, don't be scared.
I was a scaredy cat.
Candace, Dawn scares the heck out of me. And that's why I'm not going anywhere near that gym. She's going to have to come hijack me at my house.
That's too funny.
Now, for those of you who are just tuning in, you're on the Business Zone with
Crystal.
Dawn.
and Gilbert Buchanan. You're a small business paramedic. And if you don't know what this show is about, this show is a platform that helps small businesses get matched up with contract providers for supply diversity opportunities. And what we say here at the Business Zone is we're not training you just to do transactional business. We want you to do contractual business. Transactional business means that you do one business today, you may do one next week or next month, and you may not do another. But with contractual business, you get a 1 year or 2 to 5 year contract, and then you're certain of your revenues coming in. So that's what we try to do here at the Business Zone. And Crystal has been killing it in the accounting and bookkeeping space. Dawn has been killing it in the training and fitness space. And of course, I'm trying to catch up to them. So
Well, you're doing your thing in your space as well.
with my business management certifications and infrastructure development, I'm trying to catch up to them.
And it's interesting, people, like I said earlier, people are realizing that in order to do contract business, that means their business has to be operating in compliance.
Yes.
They have to have a strong financial structure. So a lot of them are getting that now.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you, they're so excited in my QuickBooks
That's
class.
great.
I'm just absolutely amazed.
That's good.
And I got a new client this week, and this young man, he's probably in his 30s. He comes from a third generation of concrete pourers. So he just got a contract, and that's how he was a referral to me. He just got a contract with LAX.
Really?
Life-changing for this young man.
Yep.
And he's in his 30s, and he's looking at change. His business
Looking
has
at it
just
totally differently.
changed now.
Yep.
So I'm excited about him and for him. And he even had even when he did his own QuickBooks, I don't have to do it. I have to make some adjustments. But I asked him, I said, "You're doing this yourself?" Who taught? He said, "I taught myself."
Very good.
But he said his father did mostly residential work.
Yeah.
And they did very well, and he worked for his dad, but never kept track of anything, know how much money he was making or any of that. But with contracts, he realized he has to do that.
He sounded like he could be a good client. Yeah. See, clients who have the ability to develop good infrastructure, those are the clients we want.
Right.
We've been working with all types of clients. We've been working with the clients who have all their receipts in a little shoebox. They don't really care about doing things the right way. We've been working with clients who have their ducks in a row, but they just need to learn about the procurement space, the government contracts and all of that. And then you've got the clients who really, they don't really want us to help them anymore. They want to do it themselves until they find out that it's not all fun and game.
Right.
Then they'll come back.
As I sit here on the show, I'm looking in retrospect at how I first started my business out of the little shoebox, and, and how my business has grown. So it's kind of exciting hanging around you guys.
That's good.
Just kind of see where I was to where I'm going, and I've been doing better since I've been on the show.
Good. We just need to get you to sign up for Small Biz Pro now.
I did sign up for Small Biz Pro.
You did?
Yeah.
I never saw that come through.
You just treat me bad because I'm on the show.
I never saw it come through.
I thought you sent me the email. You sent me the information right in the night.
Yes, I did.
Maybe
but I can send it again.
Maybe I just didn't finish.
I can help you. I can help you log on. How about that?
I promote your business. I'm on the show. I'm a part of this thing.
And once she starts with her, after she kicks off her big launch.
Yes.
That's my second line. But I do have contracts. All of my clients are contract clients.
Good.
So that you know.
Good.
As a matter of fact, I've learned from the show that everyone is not my customer. It's okay for me to tell someone no.
Job.
And I released myself this week of a couple people.
There you go.
Yeah.
Just release them to their destiny.
I gave one guy his money back. It's just, I can't do
That's
it.
true.
I love you. Mm-hmm. I'll set you up on a program, a one-time program, but I cannot train you.
Yes.
You just don't.
And I'm sure you know that 20% of your clients are going to try to suck up 80% of your time. You can't afford to let that happen.
No, not at all.
You see what I mean? And as consultants, the sooner we recognize that, the better it will be for us.
Right.
Or we're going to be there trying to spoon feed them and babysit them all along.
No.
And then the other 80%, they're going to be cheated. They're not going to get what they need from us.
And it's a good thing when you learn that not all clients are great clients.
Right.
And when we first start our business, that's what we do, right? Because you need money, or you take everybody.
Yeah.
But as you start to make some growth plans and become more strategic about what your specialty niche is, then you're like, okay, this is not fitting in here.
Start cutting a few people
You
loose.
have to start to, and I usually have a referral, which is one of the reasons I'm doing the QuickBooks classes, to develop some trainer to trainer, so I can start farming out some of the ones, smaller businesses.
Right.
I myself prefer the troubleshooting, come in and the forensics of accounting.
Right.
That's what I like. And helping you grow to that next level and monitoring your cash flow. That's exciting to me.
Oh, yeah.
Just the mundaneness of doing books.
I believe that I can work with everyone in some capacity, so I like to sit down with a new person. I'll have them pay for one session with me at full price, and let's see if we fit.
Right.
And we'll train, and I'll decide, because trainers like to train. And sometimes when someone is unable to do certain things, it becomes a little frustrating. I want work to be a happy space for me, and not so much, draining. Because sometimes I feel like I am a chiropractor. I'm a rehabilitation kind of person. I'm even
and all of that.
All that. So it's hard. But so I don't like to necessarily, because I'm training you to lose fat, building muscle. I'm not necessarily, in some cases I do if that's what I want to do. I want to rehabilitate you. I'll do that. But so I can write your diet and send you to someone else to do an exercise. So I just made $350 off a client. And it's $350 a month. It's reoccurring.
That's good.
Because I'm going to be writing their diet, and I sent them to someone else to train.
That's what I'm talking about.
And that's necessary, because some people, for some people, that's the hardest thing. Is just knowing what to eat and how to eat. I think Oprah that was her issue.
Right.
It's just knowing what to eat. And when she finally got over the Weight Watchers, I guess, in addition,
I think Oprah's smart. Oprah knows it's about doing it with a busy schedule. Because even for me, I know what to eat, and sometimes it's hard to make. I'm on the run. It's hard to make the best choices sometimes.
It is.
And then when you're stressed, everybody just goes left. So sometimes it's just about implementing what you know. It's designing your day the night before so that you are set and ready to go. So that meal prepping is 100% important. If you don't meal prep, you're going to be swinging it.
Yeah, that's true.
And if I know that I can't, if I'm going someplace and I can't take my fish because I can't leave it in the car, it's about finding out what's in the area, taking a few minutes the night before to find out what's in the area, what restaurants in the area, and looking at the menu to pick what I can eat there.
Yeah.
So you know what? When you meet Armin and you become part of digital marketing, that would be an app. That would be off the chain, right? Wherever you are. And his apps will give you geo-planning and mapping out. Everywhere you go, where is the fresh foods, where are the healthy foods, and what restaurants can I eat at? That would be awesome.
Don't want to share your trade secrets too much on the air.
No, not at all.
I'm sure we got a few pirates. So but I know we've been talking a lot about the blend, and a lot of our customers, I should say our listeners out there, they're trying to figure out what the heck is a blend. What is this blend? Is it a blender? What is it? So we're going to talk to you guys later on. We're going to bring on a guest on our show to explain to you what the blend is and how it's going to blend your life into good flavor.
Right.
So we're at the bottom.
Exciting new thing that just hit Los Angeles.
Absolutely.
So we're excited about the guests that we have here. And Dawn is part of the...
Dawn is a part of it, so we're going to hear how she's on her way to stardom there. So
right. Hopefully she don't forget us.
I know.
I'm not going to forget you.
So we're at the bottom of the hour. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break right now. We're going to bring on one of our special guests to let us know more about the blend, this blend that we're talking about, find out what it is. So you're on the Business Zone with
Crystal,
Dawn,
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. Take a break.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186. Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a... Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.
So we're back on the Business Zone with
Crystal.
Dawn.
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. And thank you all for tuning in. This is a great show today. We got some very, very wonderful guests here on our show today. And Crystal, who do we have in the studio?
Well, we have the creator of The Blend, which is a new talk show format that has just hit the Los Angeles networks, and hopefully they will be syndicated and all over the country and all over the world.
No doubt.
And that is this brainchild. Now, first of all, let me explain. Ms. LaVonda Ross, she was, I think you were a referral to me. I'm not quite sure how. I just got a phone call one day. I was coming from Mount Sac, and someone had told her about me, and we got to talking, and so she wanted to do this conference with lady doctors, and she wanted to bring an inspirational message to women. And so she told me what she wanted to do, and she asked me if I could help. So I rounded up all my peoples that could be in the space. Miss Rhonda Santafort, and because it was in regards to health. And so Rhonda is the person, she has her celebrate life and eating and nutrition for those that have been diagnosed with cancer. So I brought her. And at the time, I think, Dawn, I referred her to you because of you were working with the American Diabetes Association. And I know you also know everybody as well, and a number of other people.
Ready for the video?
Yeah, and a number of other people. So this new brainchild of LaVonda, she's the executive. You're the producer, right? The executive producer. And so she was working on the conference. And sometimes God lets you know that that's not the direction he wants you to go in. So when that's the case,
although it's good,
right?
This
The
is where you
puzzle
start,
pieces,
but this is not where you
pieces
finish.
may not all fit the way you want them to fit, no matter how you keep trying to shove them in, right? So then I guess she went back to the drawing board because that kind of went low for a little while
because he had a mission for the mind, the body, and the
bigger
spirit, right?
concept. So she then created the blend.
Yes.
And you and I went to the launch the other day. Now, mind you, Dawn had told me she was on the blend, and I was all excited about it. But I don't know if I ever heard you say lavanda.
I never said, yeah, I think I did say
Only thing you said to me about lady doctors, and I thought, wow, that sounds familiar.
Okay.
But I never asked anything more about it.
Right.
So when that hit me was when I was sitting at the theater.
And she said,
and she said, the lady, and she introduced us like, oh my God, that makes sense, the lady doctors. So this is a inspirational talk show debuting in the fall of 2018. And the series seeks to heal spirit, mind, and body by bringing together a panel of 4 African-American health and wellness experts for a lively hour that helps viewers live more empowered life. And I was just so impressed with the caliber of the show when I was at the launch. I mean, even the launch party was right off the top, just like Hollywood is. It was Hollywood. And you did a phenomenal job. And I know this has been your mission for a very, very long time. And this is just awesome to see what you've created. And it's phenomenal. You've chosen some amazing individuals to help you carry out this mission and vision. So welcome
to the show.
And you've got I know when you first talked about the conference to me, your primary goal was to create film and a program and shows and so forth. That was what the initial program, the concept and goal was, right?
No, let me kind of rectify that. What the vision started with this was to have wellness conferences, as you stated, that featured or focused on African American women issues, that doctors that look like them could speak to those issues. Simultaneously, I always had in mind the lady doctors. Okay. So I wanted to do both of them. And again, thank you for all of your help, because you really did call out, your followers, your friends, and they were right there. But for some reason, like you said, it just never panned out. But lady doctors, I knew was something that the Lord had given me, because I had an outpatient surgery, I was about to have an outpatient surgery in 2015. And prior to having that surgery, my prayer was, Father, I really want an African-American woman physician. I feel like I can relate to her, she can relate to me, and help me through this process. And that prayer was answered in the form of Dr. Mia Sanders. All went well. But I literally had an epiphany. And the epiphany was, if I feel this way, I know that there are other black women that feel this way. And simultaneously, I just got tired of seeing us die from hypertension, diabetes, things that I know are manageable, things that I know can be eradicated if we just had a true insight, and then alternative methods. So that was my original thought, that Western medicine and practices are great, or to an extent, but what we need is alternatives for us. And then I realized, being a graduate of Oral Roberts University, being a Christian, that spirit, mind, and body was drilled in me. And so I never do anything apart from that, starting with myself first. And when one area is off in my life, starting with my spirit, generally my mental, emotional, and my body is following. Absolutely. So my whole concept is when you're spiritually ill, it's manifested mentally, emotionally, it messes with your mental and your emotions, but then it's manifested physically. Yeah. And so for me, it was like, this is why we're walking around sick. We're walking around with these diseases because we're spiritually sick. And the only way I know how to deal with that, where people don't say, well, I don't want to hear about God, I don't want to, is to address this from this perspective. We are all spiritual beings.
Yes.
And if I can get everybody to know this for a fact, that you are a spiritual person or spiritual being having like an earthly experience, then what will happen is it's not about are you a Christian or are you a Muslim or are you this. It's, okay, I'm a spiritual being. Let me take care of my spirit.
Yes.
Okay, so that's where the blend pretty
Oh,
much
fantastic.
originated.
And that is so needed.
That's a great story
Yes.
right
Yeah,
there.
it is. And I was just talking with someone before I came to the studio, and she's going through a whole thing at work, and she's got filing a lawsuit and so forth. But we were talking about how stressed she has been, and she was saying something that resonated with me, where she told her son, told her, "Mommy, can we just hurry up? Can you just leave this job? Because I want my mommy back. You are so stressed out." She was telling me her hair was just popping off. You
Yeah.
could hear it popping off because of the high pressure, toxic environment she's in. And we don't recognize how stress, I mean, it goes down deep into your spirit.
In a lot of different
and it
ways.
just starts to wreak havoc on your body.
Yeah.
So, and then sometimes we don't have an outlet. So this is amazing that you have doctors. So how did you create, so when you were selecting the lady doctors, what was the process on what the outcome is today?
That's a very good question, Crystal. Let me just also say thank you for allowing me this time to even share about the blend. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you are so welcome.
The lady doctors, when I literally wanted to assemble this team together, I knew that I wanted African American women, okay, because that was my prayer. But then people were in my ear, you can't have a show like that because nobody's going to watch it. But I also look at the times. There was a show that they had on a couple summers ago, 4 preachers. There were 4 black men, you guys remember? And Bill Geddes, who was the producer or co-partner with Barbara Walters for many years, one of the last things he wanted to do prior to kind of exiting the business was to do a show that was positive. So he assembled these men together, not looking for 4 black men, but that's what he ended up having. So, and this was aired on Fox through a trial. And I said, if they can do it, then we can do it because the times are changing. So when I started out, like I said, my original thought, 4 black women, I started knocking on doctors' doors. I just literally would show up.
That's
I'm a
great.
person that if God have put something in
Oh,
your
and
heart,
I love her.
I'm one of those kind of people. I'm going to do it. So I would pop up in their offices and I would tell them, listen, I have this vision about the show. They would listen intently and then they would literally say, you know what, I'm interested. Okay, how can we work this out? So that's how I got my first set of doctors. And it was awesome. Went through the rehearsal process, all that good stuff. But shows evolve. So eventually, having gone through one set, actually taping with another set of doctors, because like I said, the vision changes. You never really kind of want to settle on something. You got to let it grow.
Right.
So when we actually shot a pilot 2016, those doctors that I had were awesome. But I knew that the doctor show wasn't quite there. So I sat on it because I honestly believe that you have to let things mature. Like there was a saying, don't sell any wine before it's time.
Right.
You've got to let it evolve. And look, by the grace of God, doing that, I didn't have the proper investor at the time. You can't be hasty. People kept saying, go to networks, knock on the door. Nobody's done this. But I knew that a network wasn't where I needed to be because we needed to have a true voice. And I did not want anybody saying, you cannot have 4 African American women and you cannot talk about God. And so with that, I just waited, I think about it, and out of the blue, literally, I submitted a proposal regarding one of my film projects, and this beautiful couple, the Childs, saw the film, and they wanted to, possibly fund the film, but I also submitted lady doctors, and with that, they liked it, and they said, you know what, we want to cut you a check, and the rest is history. And so with that, after germinating for a while, the blend, because I knew I needed to change the name, the blend, because I want the spirit, mind, and body to harmonize. And then I started thinking about doctors, thought about the one that I worked with, thought about Jewel Diamond Taylor, who's our spiritual advisor, thought about a couple of other people. And then one day, Dr. Peace was referred, and you're going to be talking to her soon, and I'm going to kind of let you guys segue into that. And then Dr. Peace was referred to me, and I met her, and we asked her to be a guest host, in our rehearsal process, and then she was a fit. So basically, we went through these a couple sets of doctors until I arrived at the set that we we currently have now. And I believe that these doctors, excuse me, let me, and I don't want to leave Dawn out in any way, shape, or form, because Dawn is a recurring, but she is a co-host. You might as well say that. Because her area is physical. She is my physical person. And I knew that if we were going to have a physical person, we needed somebody who lived that life, somebody who was about that life, and not just doing this for television. And when I met this lady some years ago, I never forgot that.
Oh, yeah.
And so, thank God that she was willing to do this. But anyways, Dr. Peace came with us, and it was just a fit, because they are true representatives of spirit, mind, and body that we have now. So
well,
I hope that answered the question.
I definitely would love to welcome you to the Business Zone. This is really, really a pleasure having you here.
Thank you.
The accomplishment that I've seen over, that one day that I was there was just so phenomenal. What we preach here on this show is business readiness, contract readiness, and bank loan readiness. And what you're talking about right now is program readiness. You had your program ready before you went out. You see what I mean? Because you knew that it wasn't where it was supposed to be.
Exactly.
And that's why you were trying to get those other ingredients to make sure the blend was the blend.
Exactly.
So my hat's off to you.
Yes.
I really, really admire that.
And even when she was doing the conference, I mean, she knew when to pull the cord, because a lot of people just would have just gone ahead with it because, but it just wasn't. It wasn't doing what she needed and what her vision was. So she pulled the cord. And I'm sure it was a lot of work and a lot of planning that went into it. And so that's what I mentioned to her, is that I think the blend was supposed to be the first introduction to the world. And then the conferences will come because she will have driven the traffic with the message from the powerful people that are going to be delivering that message. So sometimes, we want to put the cart before the horse, but God said, nah, I don't think so. So, but, and sometimes that hurts, right? Because you got all these big master plans, and what is let you go do the plan. What is that quote? You make the plan and don't invite God in on making the plan, or get his version of the plan, and you decide this is my plan. That is not how that works.
When I met Lavonda, I didn't meet her around the conference time. I met her when she was about to do the Lady Doctors. So I think the conference was before the Lady Doctors. Okay, so I wasn't there for the conference, but I was there, and I did the meetings with the Lady Doctors, and she did the first taping.
That's right.
But when Lavonda decided she was going to put things on hold, I was in no way frustrated or no way sad about it, because
disappointed.
Not at all. Because when I met this lady, I met someone with a passion for what she was doing. She, a woman that hears from God on a vision. And I said, if you're anything like Crystal, I know it's gonna come around. So she would call me, "You still with us, Dawn? You still with us?" Yes, I'm still with you. When you're ready, I'm there. Because if you listen to her, it's like you're afraid not to go with her. You're afraid not to be on board
because you feel like you're gonna miss out on something.
Yes, because whatever she touches, I believe God has ordained it, and I believe it's going to be great. So I am super excited. I think that the blend is absolutely phenomenal. I remember the first group of women, and they were great in their own right. They were great. I met all of them. I thought it was wonderful, and I sat back and I said, this is going to be great, because I was getting to know her, and she does everything with excellence. And she's prayerful, and I believe she really seeks God's face. I don't think she just moves. So I was excited. And then when she said, I like these group of women, I think there's something else there. I'm going to revamp this thing. And when she brought together these four, I said, thank you, Lord, that she remembered me. These four women are absolutely
and it's so,
awesome.
I mean, there's so many, different, specific, you have medical doctors, your psychologists, there's so many, your educators, there's so many different types of doctors for you to, because that's a big job, I would think, is being able to select that right person to deliver what was in your head, because it wasn't in their head, it was in yours. That you were the creator of it. So what was that process?
And I'm glad you said that again, because when you go back to the Lady Doctors, I actually had to have Lady Doctors MDs, PhDs sitting around that table. And so, and hence that was another reason why I felt like we needed a name that was more definitive of what we were trying to accomplish. Our objective was this show, which is Spirit, Mind, and Body. But looking for those particular medical doctors, I didn't just want us disseminating information. I really wanted people who could emanate the spirit, their being, their who they are. And I think we have that in these 4 women. I honestly do. They have their own, distinct personalities, and they're coming 5, because when I don't see Don sitting around there, but these 5 women who are experts in their own right, but every time I watched the blend, because I have to sit in the editing process, I always felt good when I left that show. I would be clapping, and I'm saying, I'm not just clapping because this is my show. I'm clapping because this is good. You know what I mean? This is inspirational. And that's not something you can do. That comes from God having done what He's doing through these women, and they are providing. And so I'm just grateful that these 4 women that we selected in that. I didn't really select them, to be honest. They came. They literally came. The first time I was knocking on doors. This time they
found you.
And
they
found me. And they all fit a different audience, a different demographic.
Which is great.
Peace, who you're going to meet in a moment. Dr. Peace, she's the millennial. And you got Jill Diamond Taylor, who has her own audience. And
Absolutely.
So I think that it's definitely a blend of the right women.
That's
absolutely
phenomenal.
No doubt.
So
no doubt.
I have a program called Small Biz Pro. It's a compliance. It's a software, business management software platform to help small businesses to become business ready, contract ready, bank loan ready. So when I was trying to determine what name I'm going to give it, because I couldn't figure out the name, it took me a while. I've been toiling, tossing it back and forth. I'm coming up with all these words and names, and they're too long and too complicated and not easy to remember. Until one day it hit me, Small Biz Pro. Really easy, right? So I'm trying to figure out with you on the blend. I know you've been tossing around some titles in your head. What do I want to call it? What am I going to... And then you finally settle on the blend. So tell me about that process.
You know what, Gilbert? I kind of hinted at that a little bit ago. I basically said that I knew that the spirit, mind, and body needed to harmonize. And so the only word that I could come up with that what I felt like was catchy still
was the blend.
Blend.
How long did it take you to come to that?
You know what? Not long.
Really?
No, not long, because I just thought about words that unify.
Yes.
Words that spoke of unity. So
see, that's how you know when your vision is at that point of fruition.
Right.
Because the title that you give to that project will always emanate everything about it, and that's what that is right there.
If you guys don't mind, I'd really like to kind of begin to state these things that I think are a must to be associated with the Blend Talk. The blend is a movement.
Yes.
Okay. The blend is not just a talk show. The blend is a movement. The vision that God have given me, and I know it's God because there is no way on God's green earth LaVonda Rouse could do it alone.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I thank everybody that has collaborated with me. You cannot do this alone. I'm talking past, present, and folk that are here and those that are gone. Thank you.
Yes.
Because you need everybody to help you bring this to pass. The people that were meant to be. So, anyways, with that being said. The blend is a movement, and the reason I say this is because we've got the Me Too movement, we've had the civil rights movement, all of these movements that have impacted society, impacted humanity, and have brought about tremendous change. Well, that's what this one is. This is a movement to take us right back to where we need to be, and that is to acknowledge that we are spiritual beings, and that we can begin to heal our spirits, that our mind and our emotions will follow, and that our physical man will carry that wholeness. This is a wellness journey for real. A road of wellness, and I love it because I'm on that journey. I am so grateful that I am not there yet. I have not arrived, and that I'm broken in areas and they need to be fixed. I need this show. That's why this show was created, because LaVonda Rouse needs this show. I don't even put that off on anybody else. And if I need it, I'm pretty sure there's some other people that need it. So I need people to get out there and tell folk that this is a movement, that we are trying to make blenders. I want the blend, the thought of the blend, not the word the blend per se, but the thought of spirit, mind, and body to just be so on people's mind that I got to worry about not worry, but I got to take care of my spirit. I got to take care of my mind. I got to take care of my emotions. I got to take care of my body. That's what I'm looking for with the blend. So
Yes.
this is not just a talk show.
Yeah.
It's a movement.
It's a movement.
And
the beauty of this is not only, and I know we're at the top of the hour, we got to take another break real quickly, but not only does the show have this great information that's being disseminated, but every time someone talks, 'cause I look at Dawn all the time, she talks about it, every time someone speaks about the blend, they smile.
Yes, you can't.
Yeah,
You
everyone.
have to smile because it's that exciting.
I look at you, you smile when you say
Yes.
it. I look at her, she smiles when she says it.
Yes,
Dawn
yes.
and Crystal.
Yes.
So that's the secret ingredient that you're probably not paying attention to,
Right.
but it's out there.
okay.
Even when we were evaluating the show, I'm looking around the room, and everyone, they're just smiling.
While we were at the theater.
They're
Also, what's
thank
going on in the world today when it comes to women, and what took place last week with the appointment of the Supreme Court Kavanaugh.
Justice, yeah.
So and when I was at the training seminar, this is the very first time I've been in a room where there was about 70 people in the room, and the majority of them were women. Majority, and there were about 15 women that stood up that had been abused, violated, ignored, felt that they were insignificant in a world that's predominantly men, and that's the first time that's ever happened, because usually I'm surrounded by very strong women, so we stand in our own power. But this was the first time, and I met numbers of women that they got married, came from other countries, and they got here, and their husbands just dumped them, and with their children, and I'm like, whoa! And that right on the backside of that decision. It left everyone feeling like, especially women that have been in those positions before, and pretty much all of us have been in some sort of compromising, uncomfortable, that's still in the resident memory, that we were insignificant. Last week we were insignificant.
Yes.
They said that nothing that we cared about, our bodies, that they don't care about that. They have to dictate what we should do with our bodies, our mind. Whether someone made a comment that women need to be able to prove that they were violated.
That's the first lady who said that.
Right, that
that's
you have
ridiculous.
to prove and have evidence. No, we don't.
That's ridiculous.
We don't, because some knucklehead person feels that they have power and dominion over our decisions. And that's why this movement is important, because women need to feel, all women need to feel
they have a
that
voice
they have
and a
voice
platform.
and that they are very significant. And one of the things I said, those very men that were making those comments to those women, they came from the body of a woman.
Right. Come on.
And if she had not housed them for 9 months, they would not be on this earth.
Yes.
And to say that we're insignificant and we multitask, we raise children, we work at jobs, we manage budgets. I mean, we're doing things that men couldn't even possibly, Gilbert, but possibly do. And we're always in the moment. When you have children, you're always in the moment. You're always 10 steps ahead of them, trying to figure out how you're going to get them to school, get them dressed, get money, feed them, do all that, take care of your husband, and take care of a job. We're not insignificant.
Absolutely not.
And so this is good. This is to let women know who are less powerful than we are, that if you are not the voice, then I'll be the voice for you.
We'll advocate for you.
And I will advocate for you, and I will motivate and inspire you to raise yourself up to the point that you can speak for yourself.
If I can just, thank you for that. If I can interject this, my belief is this: if you can heal the woman, you heal the family, you heal the man. There ain't no way in the world you cannot begin with the woman.
Right.
She's the nurturer.
She's the nurturer.
You're right on point.
Right. And that's what I felt when I came, after that, it was that, a whole bunch of this nonsense makes me crazy, but that one made me the craziest, because right behind that, they're telling this woman, I believe you, but it probably did happen. Just wasn't this jerk over here.
Right.
But you don't know what you're talking about, woman. She's a PhD.
Come on.
That woman sat there and not just from an emotional place.
She schooled
them, but they still told her she was insignificant.
Right.
That's ridiculous.
The number that sticks out in my head, which really is very haunting, is that it's 1 in 6 women that is abused. 1 in 6. Go ahead, Doug.
And then think about if Caucasian women are experiencing that, how much more the black woman?
Right. Exactly.
How much more that silent voice? And that is why we have to listen. We have been conditioned in society, and we've been conditioned to receive from certain people.
Yes.
And the one that we've been most conditioned not to receive from is the black woman.
That's true.
So now you're seeing this surge of black women come to the forefront, from the political advantage, the economic advantage, and the media advantage.
Yes.
And this is what I believe. Imagery is what got us here in the conditioning.
Yes.
It's going to take imagery to recondition us.
Right.
And this is why it was important for me to have black women, so that other black women could see them, and so that other people could start the conditioning, the reconditioning process to say, if these are credible women, they're educated, even if they're not, but if they have credible information, I can receive from them.
Exactly.
And the only way that can be done, such as a program like this, listening to intelligent people like yourselves, only way that I can receive from you and know that this exists is I've got to see it. I've got to hear it.
Right.
And it has to be, it's a repetitive process.
It's got to be repetitive.
Exactly.
It's not just a one-time thing.
That's true.
So we've released our show on Facebook at the the Facebook The Blend Talk Show. And I didn't do it because I couldn't go to a network. I did it because I must have the voices of black women heard. And because of this thing called the internet, thank God for it, we can now be heard across the world, and no executive can decide that feat for us.
That is
and
true.
so we thank God for the internet.
Yep.
And I think that's absolute, because that just takes you not just domestically, that takes you internationally, because there's so many women around the world that truly need someone to advocate and to inspire them. So congratulations on your project. And we're definitely supporters of that, and we love our Don. And so we're supporting, and so now
this is phenomenal.
We're gonna take a quick break, and then we're gonna bring up one of the other doctors that's on the show, and be introduced to her and get her input, and continue to interact with everybody.
have her tell her story.
Her
as well.
story.
Absolutely.
So you are tuned into the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert, and if you have some comments and would like to ask some questions of both LaVonda and Dr. Peace and Don Strozier here, the phone number is 293-3375, and give us a call, because
Give us a call. We want to hear from you.
we're about to make some changes with black women at the helm of it, and it's important that we support and uprise each other.
Yes.
Okay.
And behind every strong black woman is
our Gilbert.
Take a break.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186. Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also
we're back
provides
on the
back
business
office
zone with
Crystal.
Dawn.
Dr. Lavonda. I'm sorry.
Lavonda Rouse.
Lavonda Rouse. And our new special guest, which Crystal is going to tell us who is in the studio today.
So we are it's a pleasure to have you in the studio today, Dr. Peace Amadi.
Yes.
But she likes to be called Dr. Peace. She's a
Dr. Amadi's my dad.
There you go. She's a psychology professor, speaker, and writer. She believes she has been empowered to empower others' lives. She carved out a unique expertise, media psychology, where she concentrates on how traditional media and social media impact our lives and relationships. And so in a compelling 2017 TED Talk at UC Davis, she shares insights from her fascinating research that reveals how social media is greatly impacting people's lives, creating anxiety, depression, psychological trauma, and insecurity. Wow, yeah, especially with our children. Equipped with a doctorate in psychology from Azusa Pacific University and a BA from UCLA, Dr. Peace builds off her expertise to help people better understand themselves. So we want to welcome you.
Thank you.
And that's a unique, very timely specialty.
Yeah.
Because it's interesting. I taught some kids this summer how to become entrepreneurs. And when I was asking them to solve specific pain or to identify the specific pain that they felt in their world, about 10 of them came up with businesses that was in relationship to stress that they encounter every single day.
Yeah.
And the only thing that made sense was social media.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that they all had in common. And this was from age 11 to the age of 18.
Yeah. Yeah. That doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, social media has taken over, right? I mean, technology for decades has been a huge part of our life, but social media in particular and the way that it interacts with us is something that we can no longer ignore. We are slowly changing as people, our memory, our attention, our self-esteem, where we put our value because of social media. And you're absolutely right that it's hitting our young people the most, but it's also hitting us as adults as well. We're impacted by social media. It's hard not to be. It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. And in fact, I was reading an article this weekend, and it was saying it's almost impossible not to interact on your social media. It's just like it's become just as natural as brushing your teeth.
Right. And that's because social media exploits the most human parts about us, right? So as humans, we have fundamental needs to be seen. We have a fundamental need to share. We have a fundamental need to exchange with one another. I mean, these are things that make us human. Social media is a platform. It's a virtual platform for us to do the things that are naturally us. So it gives us this opportunity, and we engage in it. And you know, it's obvious, I think, when you realize that it's incredibly hard to avoid being impacted in it because you know, we're getting to be human just by being on social media.
Yeah, exactly. And with since the new administration, it has had some very negative impact on people. I believe. I think before you, first of all, you weren't quite as drawn to it every single hour, every single minute as it is today, because you're afraid, like, I better check in because I don't know what's about to happen. So now you do before, but children are definitely. So tell me, in that research that you were doing, what were some of the interesting things that you found out?
Yeah, particularly with social media. I mean, there's a lot of research that converges around the idea that the more we use it, the more depressed we become, the more anxious we become, the more concerned we are, and actually the more isolated we become, which is so interesting because you think social media is going to bring you closer to people. I mean, that was the idea, that was the goal, but we're finding that we're actually becoming more isolated because we're replacing real human time, one-on-one time that has been, you know, one of the most important things for health since biblical days, just relationship, face-to-face touch. We're replacing that with online interaction. And so it is not giving us what we truly need. So of course we're more depressed. Of course we're more anxious. Now that being said, I mean, I don't personally demonize social media because I do think there's value to it. I just think we're misusing it and we're allowing it to replace things that we shouldn't be allowing it to replace, like this, this time.
Yeah, it's important.
Social media can't touch us, right?
Right.
And if we go, there's studies that show if we go weeks, months, years without touch, you know, that alone creates depression. That alone creates anxiety. So replacing all these things that we need naturally with interfacing with technology, it's not it. We need to reorganize and reprioritize how we do life.
Yeah, and you know, because years and years ago, you know, with Pavlov's dog, and I took psychology was my initial major, then I switched over to business. But that was something I was going into child development, and it talked about the child needing to be touched. And I find that very important today because I've actually been in some school environments and children are not touched in school because of lawsuits and so forth. But you can't connect with a child unless you go like this. So that they understand that they can trust you.
It's so interesting that you bring that up because actually in my training as a clinical psychologist, there's a lot of debate about that as well, touch. Up until recently, it's actually been considered unethical to touch your clients, touch the people that come into your therapy office. But while I was in graduate school, I was one of the advocates, particularly for the Black community, because I was saying, you know what, we have to look at the cultural context of this. When it comes to, I can't speak for other communities, but when it comes to us, we are a very touch-oriented culture. We're a very relational culture. We're a very high emotion exchange culture, facial, all of that. So touch for us is healing. And if we're talking about being in a field that's supposed to heal people, but we're not allowing ourselves to do the things that people from specific cultures need, then what are we doing? So I've been one of those proponents to really pay special attention to what different cultures need, and being a Black woman myself, knowing the culture, being a part of it. Giving some pushback to this idea that we can't use touch to heal, because that's really important, I think, to us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, of course, we have to be careful. You can be inappropriate with that, but that in and of itself is not a bad thing.
No, I think it's important.
One time I met this Muslim woman, and you guys know me. I like to shake hand, touch, hug, whatever. And I met this lady, and I went to go shake her hand, and she would never shake my hand, because in her culture,
you don't do that.
Right.
Yeah.
I was wow. It made me take like a double take, because in our culture, we don't, hey, how you doing? Shake hands, we talk, and then
everything.
You see what I mean?
Walking down the street, you make eye contact.
Especially we're from a church environment, religious environment.
That's
we're
what we
hugging.
do.
That's important.
That's healing to us.
Healing.
That's connection to us.
Yeah.
And
That was like a new experience for me.
Yeah, and in a lot of countries in Africa and the Arab countries, and some East Indian countries as well. That you can't touch the women there, off limits. Right. So tell me, Dr. Peace, your spot on the blend.
Yes.
So what are you bringing to the blend?
I'm bringing peace.
That's a good one.
Well, that's a great question. I am one of the two psychologists on the show, but we do have different backgrounds. So I do appreciate that even though myself and Dr. Gloria are the two psychologists on the show, she comes from a human potential, creative side, and I come a little bit more from the traditional clinical side, but my specialty really is looking at anxiety, depression, trauma in the Black community, and like you read in my bio, I've over the last couple years developed a specialty in media psychology. So looking at how traditional media, film, television, and social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, is impacting us for better and for worse, because both is happening. So one of my favorite. You guys will be seeing, I'm not going to say too much because you guys will be seeing this next week, but one of my favorite segments thus far has been when I was able to interview a fellow social media influencer about social media, about being on Instagram, being a Black woman on Instagram particularly, and how we can either be inspired and encouraged or be disempowered by the representation or lack thereof in the social media space, and how it's important to see ourselves, to be reflected back. Because when you see yourself as a Black woman in social media, in media, wherever, there's a validation that comes with us. There's a legitimacy that comes with that. And we need that. That we absolutely need to see ourselves projected on these screens in a sense to know that we're okay, that we're normal, that we're beautiful, that we're amazing, that we're worthy of being celebrated.
Not in the stereotypical way.
Exactly. So I loved having that conversation with her, and I love talking about that in general, just the importance of representation in all of these spaces, which is why The Blend in general is such an amazing show, because here's that representation, right? It means 4 Black women from different walks of life, multi-generational, different skin tones. I'm the brown skin. I'm probably the deepest colored woman on the show, and I love that. I love repping, that chocolate. While being a doctor, while being in my 30s, while I'm next to women who are, just different. But we're all here. We're all bright. We're all intelligent. We're all speaking speaking to the wholeness of a person, of a woman. And, you know, we are projecting back to other Black women that they are intelligent, that they are, you know, worthy, that they can heal, that they can grow, that they can be whatever they want to be and sit at whatever table they desire to sit at. So I love that the blend is doing that without, you know, we don't even need to push that we're doing it. That's just what it is.
Two quick questions.
Yeah.
One, I missed that one. So
that's a good question.
I know. But the one I want to ask, I remember now. Have you written any books?
That's a great question. I am working on one, actually. Yes. One should be released by the grace of God in 2019.
Oh, Amen. Good. Mm-hmm. Because I think that will be very good in the community. Very good for us to, in several ways. One, it has information from your perspective. And two, a lot of us will gravitate more to that information than we would from the dominant culture. Because their perception of us is not what our perception of us is.
Right. And that you can't, it's harder to trust people who don't look like you.
Or don't know your journey.
Yeah, they haven't been there.
So I can't wait for that book.
Oh, thank you.
I want to really check it out. The next thing is that singer. What's her name? Cocoa Chocolate?
Oh, Joy Starr.
Oh, Joy Starr. Yeah.
She was phenomenal.
Was she?
Tell me about her. I mean, how did you guys find her? Is she the one who did the commercial for the...
Don should probably speak to that.
That is Erica Campbell's sister-in-law. That's her husband.
I actually didn't know that.
She hosted the red carpet event.
Yes.
Erica Campbell from the group Mary Mary. Oh. She's also my training client. I love her. She's a beast. Yeah. So that was her sister-in-law. That's her husband's sister, and he produced that song along with Mary Mary's new song and all the other stuff in the past. Erica Campbell, rather.
Because that's one of the first things I was thinking when I hear the blend and then I hear the voice, like the person singing. I'm going, that's amazing. I love that.
So you're referring to two different things now. Yeah. Now the person who did the soundtrack to our hit.
That's not Coco. That's not. No. Oh, I thought it was her.
No, that we can give that contribution to Wayne Lindsay and his daughter Alana Lindsay. She's the lead vocalist on the Blend Talk.
That was amazing.
Yeah, they did a beautiful job.
Because when I heard it, I'm going, Crystal, we gotta have something like that on our show.
But everyone thought that. They thought the young lady who was performing was the actual voice to the soundtrack for the Blend.
Yeah, no. I guess it kind of tied into it. Yeah.
They just assumed because they wanted to know who did the song. When they saw her, they said maybe that's it.
Well, she was in the house. Alana was in the house, but Joy Starr. The reason I wanted her to come because of that song Cocoa Butter, which just speaks to scars and you know with the Black woman and you know we need to be whole. So that's why I asked Joy Starr to come and sing that for us.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
I think you guys should tell that story even more, even on the show, because a lot of people in the community can identify with those scars and those types of things. You know, and like we mentioned earlier, I think the Black woman is scarred more than many other groups out there. And, you know, she had to endure a lot more than many of the other cultures out there. So, you know, we should...
You're right. And there's legitimate statistics that support that. Exactly. And if we're talking about depression, anxiety, or trauma, we're talking about increased rates in the Black community. So,
so there's so many other challenges. And there's a doctor, Dr. Joy DeGruy. I'm sure you know her. But Dr. Joyce DeGruy, she's written a book, and this is her mission and her passion is that we suffer from post-traumatic slave syndrome. And so her book is excellent because it actually delves deep into the psyche of what was going on with all of our people, and that when you look at trauma, so you're a clinical psychologist, when she one of the things she talks about is after 9/11, there are still people recovering from the trauma of 9/11, of losing a loved, and just seeing buildings explode and disappear,
and
right?
That was just in 2001.
And that was in 2001. So think about us in slavery
centuries.
And we never had any treatment.
No.
We've been operating in a wounded animal, trying to function and survive because we're not thriving because we have that emotional damage.
Yeah.
And one of the things when I look at, and I'm kind of a person that looks way behind the scenes and broad pictures. So this last week with the whole Kavanaugh thing, here's what I saw. These were 80-year-old men making decisions that were definitely racially charged. And when I look at these 80-year-old men who were born in the early 1900s, their father was the child of the plantation owner that owned our people. That's what that is.
Colonial time.
Colonial time.
Yes.
So that's only they are only one generation away. Their grandfather was a slave owner.
Right.
And they were raised in that environment to hate us. And you have to ask yourself, why do they hate us so much? But then you look at this desperate grouping of them that are of a certain age, and that's losing a certain amount of power and dominion over certain people. And they could not control anybody else, no other ethnicity like that. And so anytime we strive to rise above that, they make sure they remind us. So for me, when Bill Cosby was convicted for the same thing that Kavanaugh was elevated for.
Come on.
To me,
the way you even put that right now.
Right. It was the exact same thing, right? So, and then you go even dwell into deeper to that is they didn't put Bill Cosby in jail. They put Cliff Huxtable in jail because he represented, and Clara Huxtable represented, for those of us of that era, the possibilities and the vision of what real Black America looks like. That you can become a doctor, you can be a lawyer, you can have beautiful children, and they can dress well, and you can send them to school, and you have the same interactions that any other ethnicity does with their children. They're not going to jail, so they put him in jail. To send a message to us.
Absolutely.
That I don't care, and the judge actually said this. Doesn't matter how much money you have. Doesn't matter how much influence you have. I control you. And I'm putting you in jail for 30 years or whatever, 10 years to prove to you that I still have the control. Now, that's how I saw it.
Exactly.
See, on my side, which is amazing. That's a great perspective.
Yeah, that's honestly.
On my side, this is how I saw it. I saw those as a bunch of privileged people. I'm not even going to say their ethnicity, but people, right? When I was in college, it was the same thing. You have those privileged guys, they run the fraternities, right? And they do whatever they wanted with whomever they wanted. That's what I saw with that judge. And getting away with it. So that was part of one of the reasons why I wanted them to do this investigation properly. And come up with some findings that would really punish him. You know, because the lady, she testified incredibly. You see what I'm saying?
And she understood what she was talking.
She
and her pain was real.
Yes. So in putting that in perspective with us, we know those pains. We know those things. I mean, for some of these guys, this just happened the other day, and they're just getting a taste of that. We've been getting a taste of this for years now. Years now. You see what I mean?
And we continue to be re-victimized, re-traumatized because of the things that are still going on. And so, I mean, it's just a systemic issue that we have to aggressively fight and resist. That's the word, right? Resist. And to be very intentional about our healing, because it's almost like it's hard to catch a break. You know, it's hard, and not to disempower us or excuse ill behavior, but it's hard to catch a break. And we just have to be really protective of our psyches and our hearts and our minds and our relationships, and resist when we can, because a lot of the world is still not on our side, but we're on our side.
That's why I would love to see your book, because I think
going back to the book.
Because I'm thinking about it, because I think I have an idea where you're coming from with the book, which is going to be great.
Thank you.
I think with that book, it's going to lay out some foundations for us. It's going to lay out some techniques for us. It's going to lay out some tips.
You're right about
and how, and how to interact and overcome those types of things. Because no one has that for us. And just like you said, right? For years now, we're dealing with that trauma. We don't know how to deal with it.
But that's where the blame comes in. So before the book, next week, Wednesday at 7 o'clock, we're going to be talking about it.
And it's also important, one of the things that Dr. Claude Anderson talks about in his book, Powernomics, is that there's 5 layers that will bring us to a place of wholeness, and that 5th layer is media. Is taking control of our own voices, our own stories, our own messages, and our own ways to interact with our children. And so you can see, like, with Kanye, is there ever a need for us to understand how important it is to talk to someone, to shed yourself of your pain? When you lose someone, and this is a big thing, especially for a number of us that are in our late 50s and in our 60s and so forth, we're losing our parents. That is the substance of why you exist on this earth, is that mom or that dad. And that's so, especially the mom, the woman. So when you lose your mom, it's like now you're standing here. I remember when I lost both my parents, I was like, oh my God, I'm an orphan. Right? And I'm a grown woman, but I'm an orphan. And so that being able to have that conversation that your guys are going to have on the blend to help embolden women to feel, even if you lose your mom, the staple, the structure of your foundation, you have a tribe of other women that can help you and getting us past the place where we don't trust each other and that we're in competition with each other.
See, right
so
that what you just
important.
said about the tribe is critical, and I love for us to talk a lot more about that. Maybe you should do a book. I'm serious.
But the Bella Network, that's their purpose. That's our purpose.
We all gonna have books.
Because
well, I should be writing books.
We really need that tribe. I mean, I just lost my mom like 3-4 weeks ago, and it's awful. It's awful. You go in and out of that feeling. But the tribe, if you have like a tribe of other women to let you, hey, it's okay. Here's some things you can look at. Here's some coping skills. A lot of us don't have that. So that, I'm telling you, Crystal, that would be phenomenal.
And then, so now the other doctors on the show, what do they bring and who are they?
Again, because the show's the core is spirit, mind, and body. We have the spiritual advisor, Jewel Diamond Taylor.
I love Jewel.
Jewel, I heard her voice back in the 80s. She's been around a long time, and she is just one of those genuine spiritual beings. I mean, you totally gravitate towards her. There is Dr. Tabitha Carr. She is a naturopathic doctor, and one of the things I wanted to do was to offer the alternative to Western medicine, but I knew I needed somebody who was credible in doing that. So I actually read an article on Dr. Tabitha Carr in Essence, and so I reached out to her because she's actually from Oklahoma, or she lives in Oklahoma, and so we have Dr. She'll be in that area, naturopathic. And then our last person is Dr. Let me not say last, Dr. Gloria Chance, and Peace already spoke a little bit about her and what she brings to the table. She's the other psychologist, but she's more on that creative artsy side. And then, of course, we have Don Strozier, who is, our I don't even like to limit Don to, to the physical or fitness guru, because there's just so much more to her. That's why you'll see her sitting at the, at the table with these ladies or interacting with them, because, I mean, she just brings so much more to the show. So we're looking forward, hopefully, in the future to see her, cooking some nutritional meals and what other alternative methods of fitness there is out there. So, they're beautiful people.
They are. And Dawn, Miss Dawn over here, I met her at her Zumba studio, at her aerobic studio, but I went there for Zumba. And I was just so impressed at how consummated she is in her passion for what she does for a living. And it's not... it's from a different place. It's from her heart and her spirit, and she's training you to be a better you, not necessarily training you to lose weight.
Right.
She's training you to be a better you,
and also she educates.
And she
educates you as she goes along. See, I educate when I teach as a business management consultant, so that's why I can resonate with that. Because when you educate someone, even if you don't touch them at that moment, it stays in their mind.
It does.
They'll remember it for years to come.
It does.
So
It does.
that's why that is so critical.
Amen.
I love it.
So what will be some of the topics that you guys are going to discuss throughout the
Upcoming show.
Upcoming shows.
I know in our first few shows, we basically, the first one we dealt with stress, anxiety, and depression. And Dr. P spoke about that briefly, but come on, stress is just a big player in our lives. And to me, at the end of the day, it goes back to the spiritual stress that's on us. I'm not a psychologist, so I can't really speak from all aspects of the mind, but I do know that I believe that it starts in our spirit.
Absolutely.
We'll be dealing with how to rise from the ashes. We've all had challenges, things that we've had to overcome. And I want to encourage people that you can get up. Like right now, I'm going through a ton of stuff, okay? But I don't wear it. I'm not going around, sometimes you lash out. But what I'm saying is it's not, I don't stop because I have obstacles that I have to face or challenges. I don't want to give up. Sometimes you're like, Lord, can you get a break? But at the same time, you're still moving. And I just want people to know that you can rise from the ashes. So we had the motivational speaker, the incomparable Les Brown came on and motivated us like I don't know what. So if you've been following us, you've seen that show. And he coupled it with laughter and vision, visualization. And Dr. Peace and Don, you guys might want to speak to this. I'll let Dr. P speak to that last show that we did about technology, but it's just, lady, I want to say about this show. This show is so positive. We're not spending time around the table talking about the latest gossip. We're not spending time talking about, as my mother Nim used to say back in the day, Mother Nim, who shot John. We are really, we're really just trying to be positive women. Because so many times people see black women as these women or carriers of everything but what we really truly are. And that is life. And these women bring life every week. Like I said, I would watch this show and I would literally be clapping because it was like, God, I can't even believe you've allowed us to have this kind of television. We see people going, we see black women, cussing each other out, fighting, talking about, competing. But you've got these beautiful 5 women who are doing something that just I haven't seen in my lifetime yet.
Building community.
Not all in usually is one, but it's not a whole table full, and very knowledgeable professional women who have that information and their expertise in their area. So Don, your
Don's
space.
Quiet over there.
Let me say this. I'm smiling. I'm happy because I said a whole lot earlier. Absolutely love the show. I think one of the best compliments I've gotten from the show. My clients, I introduced them to Dr. Bob Marshall. If you know who he is he's a doctor that comes on 99.5. 99.5 on Saturdays is nothing but health and wellness. So he's a doctor in Santa Monica, and he deals with natural healing. He doesn't believe in surgery at all. The guy's amazing. I spend my time on Saturdays with pencil and paper, parked somewhere, drinking some tea, listening to Dr. Marshall. And all of my clients, when they first start with me, I have them meet me at 9:30 on 99.5 on Saturday. Let's listen to Dr. Marshall. Because his show is that educating, it's that inspiring. You hear people calling about their problems, and you get all your questions answered. So 2 of my clients said, "This is another Bob Marshall show." I'm going to be there Wednesday. So if I don't get anyone to talk to, I'm going to be listening to the blend. If I don't get a chance to, if I don't have a psychologist I can go listen to, I can listen to the blend. I feel like the show is going to be another Bob Marshall show where I'm going to sit and hear challenges from other people and get my questions answered. I'm going to sit crying at the end of the show because I'm being healed through the TV. through Facebook.
Come on now.
That's what my client said to me. I think this show's going to be absolutely amazing and life-changing. So I'm just super excited.
And you guys are so natural.
Yeah.
You guys are, and you're just having conversation and interacting with each other, which is important when you're in the media space, because that's how people resonate with you.
Yeah.
And then once they do that, then they're embracing what you're having to say, and then hopefully then taking it to their lives and implementing it in their lives. So I'm just so happy for all of you.
Thank you.
And I'm happy because this is passion. This is a passion project. It's passion what you do, passion what you do, and I'm big on that. Doing what God put you on this earth
and
for.
I'm not sure if you saw this past episode.
This
past episode was this when we did the interviews, right?
With
the
whom?
interviews with the audience. Yes.
Oh, yeah, yes.
I had so many compliments. There's no show that's pulling audience up around the spot, asking their questions and allowing them to interact with our expert who may come on. They got a chance, Les Brown got a chance to directly answer some questions. And I felt like it's a different show. It's not been done before, and it's going to add a whole lot of value and change some people's lives as watching. I am so excited about that.
And let me say this. I know Dr. Peace wants to get something in as well, but, this show will evolve. Okay, let me say that we've not even arrived, I believe, fully where we're going.
Oh no!
And it is.
Yeah,
and I say, just take that ride with us. But this will be a place, as Don said, you can come and you can get answers. But we'll have a disclaimer there. but you will be able to, feel like you're a part of as they say, a sister circle.
Right.
And your spirit, mind, and body will be pulled in, and that's what's exciting about this show. That's a concept out there, and people talk about it all the time. But we really, really, truly want to deal with it. You know what I mean? Where it's just not some words, spirit, mind, and body, but spirit is being spoken to. The body is being dealt with, and the mind and the emotions are being challenged, and I don't know what you would say, Dr.
Made
Peace.
whole.
Okay,
made whole, made stronger. Yeah.
And that's, like I said, that's all part of us getting past our post-traumatic slave syndrome is to be healed, and it has to come from inside, because there's so many hidden hurts that you don't even know that are there. You don't know. I remember I had a conversation with somebody recently, and they were talking about how black women interact with their children, which is probably a great topic on your show as well. And I saw it from a different place. So one of the things that used to happen during slavery, and I think if you know your history, you understand why we do what we do, and for some of the things that we do. So when our children, when a mom's child was about 4 or 5 or 6 years old on the plantation, she went into protect mode. Because when if that child was bright, if that child was agile, if that child was strong, then that meant they were going to take that child from the mother and put him in the field. And he no longer was under her protection. And she would never see him again. They could sell him off and do whatever they wanted with him, because we were their property, right? And so women began going, oh, no, you don't want him. Little Junior, he's dumb. He's not so bright. He's not so bright. He's addle-brained and that kind of stuff, because she was trying to keep him with her for as long as she could.
Wow.
Right? So then that was in our DNA. So then our grandmoms and our great-grandmoms still were protecting their sons. And then today they still have to protect their sons. So they always ask, why are black women stronger? And why were they raised differently than their men? They had to protect us to a certain point. They taught us how to keep ourselves from being raped and molested. But their sons, they had to really protect. So they don't get killed. So they did not get killed. And so that's the history behind why sometimes our black moms seem to they baby their boys more so than their women, their girl babies. And so it's our history. We got to tell people have to understand really what were the atrocities that took place in slavery, which is really what shapes us as a people today.
See, it helps.
That's good.
It helps
I like
when people hear the stories.
The historical context.
Yeah, because then they understand. They better understand. One of the problems that we have as African Americans is, and I was thinking about it driving in here today. I don't know why I was thinking about that, but we don't really team up. We don't work together.
But that was also coming from that time, because here's the thing, if you were, we have to take the islands, and it happened in Haiti, when the slaves outnumbered the white people in the area, they had to be able to control the masses, because so they didn't want you to learn English, they didn't want you to speak your native tongue, they did not want you to conjugate together, come together. They wanted the men separated from the women, and they use intimidation and torture to keep you from overriding and uprising against them, right? So that's why, again, that comes from slavery. So we were taught to distrust each other because that was their way of controlling us. So again, it's the controlling, is to releasing of the mind and the mindset. I had a friend that had told me right before Obama was elected that we should, and when Obama was elected, that was actually 400 years from when we were in slavery. So which they keep saying the Willie Lynch letter is not true. In the letter, yeah, a lot of people said that it was fake. So in the letter it says, I will show you how to control your slaves or people, your blackies, for 400 years. Well, when Obama was elected, that was the 400-year anniversary. That spell. But at that point in time, a friend of mine said he wanted to have a big celebration, and it's almost like we need a big celebration that we then go cut the chains. That is still physical. It has to be a ceremony. We operate in ceremonies. Our African ancestors operate in ceremony that physically cut the chains that's imprisoning our minds.
The physical, invisible, and the thing that I really see is with us, it's got to be one layer at a time.
Yes.
You understand? But first natural, then spiritual. So what's happening in the natural is always indicative of what's going on in the spirit. So as the natural we're breaking out, trust me, because we are breaking out. I mean, there are movements all over. So the natural people are breaking out. That's what's happening in the spirit.
Yeah.
Our spirits are saying, no, I want to be who I really am.
Right,
Free.
exactly. Free.
Free. And so this is why shows like this, and you're going to start to see more shows like this, because people want these kinds of, it's nourishment. This is the kind of nourishment people want. If you read our Facebook page, I have not read one bad negative comment. People are saying thank you for such a program. Why? Because this is what I need. So this is why I tell everybody who's associated with this show, don't despise small beginnings. Trust me. Things that have to grow, they have to grow organically, and they have to grow so that you have the real follower with you, so that blenders can go out and make other blenders. Because it's never about one person. It's always about the perpetuation of something. So when you get that one person, as you guys do, you're all educators, you educate, then they go out and educate, and they go out and educate, and there you go, layer, pulling the layers off. That's how we become whole as a community.
Exactly.
That's where we are.
So all of us have our place. You guys, and you have a platform and to speak to women. Gilbert and I have our platform that we speak to business owners and help us rise up. And there's so many. There's like 14. There's 20 shows here at this studio that have messages that are going out to our population. We have to command our own media. Dawn has her shows. And Erica has her show. So there's many of us, but we need to start to really support each other to help all of us grow so that our message is out there, so our young people can hear the message. Because right now, that's my major concern, is about our young people, making sure that this is a better world for them. There are those of us that are past a certain age, they're in that mindset, we're not going to change it, right? But we can change a young mind. And we can change a young mind that embraces how passionate they are about what they are, to embrace their freedom, and to be able to create the Black America that we know that we're all capable of. But we have to empower our children to do that.
All over the diaspora.
So we've got about 4 minutes to go before the end of the show. So how does the audience get a hold of your show? Where do they find it? How do they know when it's on?
You want me to? Okay. Every Wednesday you can tune into or click into our Facebook page, which is the Blend Talk Show, and I promise you we will show up. But not only there, we're at the Instagram at the Blend Talk, Twitter at the Blend Talk. We have our website, theblendtalk.com, and we actually have a podcast that we will be establishing. So you'll have information about the podcast, as well as you can go to YouTube. In the YouTube portion, put in the Blend Talk. And we're going to build those subscribers, and then eventually it'll be just YouTube at the Blend Talk. So listen, we thank you. Come. If you want more of the Blend, if you haven't seen the Blend yet, I encourage you to come. I can promise you, you will not be let down at all.
Yes. And you have something called the Pink Couch.
Come on now.
Yeah, that's what I called my brand. That's the name of my brand, the Pink Couch. So it's a blog, and in the future it'll be a production company. That's one thing that I'm claiming.
All right.
Yeah, that's what it is, and it's just about empowering women. And I don't align or engage in anything that isn't already aligned with what's important to me. So, the Blend was an easy yes, because all that we're talking about is literally all that I felt like God created me to do.
Okay.
So,
you know what's amazing?
Where can I find you?
Oh, Pink Couch Girl on Instagram and on Twitter, and you can find me Pink Couch Girl,
okay.
And you can find me at theblendtalk.com as well.
I just typed in the Blend on Google.
The Blend Talk.
I just did the Blend. Well,
it's got to be the Blend Talk, because I think there's
show.
another Blend.
And there's a whole lot of stuff about your shows here.
Yeah, we got great press. We got great press.
This is phenomenal. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've never seen this before.
Shout out to the best publicist in the world, Phyllis Cadell. Phyllis Cadell.
Hey, Millie Rock for
Phyllis
This is
Cadell.
phenomenal. I put it, and everything, the next 5, 6 is the Blend Talk.
Yeah, when I went to do the research before they came on the show.
And then you got some
Phyllis
videos here
Cadell.
too.
Yeah.
This is phenomenal.
Give God the glory. And listen, this is not about us. Come to us. It's like, this is about all. I mean, and I may have said this is about the community.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's about the community. And then I want to say Jewel Diamond Taylor, Don Strozier, Dr. Gloria Chance, Dr. Peace Amati, Dr. Tabitha Carr. These women are sincere women. These are women that you can truly learn something from, but at the same time, you can feel like, okay, I can really come and tell my secret if I need to this particular person. And it's safe. And I think we all want to feel like that when we're watching a show, that, I'm safe. You get what I'm saying? And that is what this show is giving. So I'm saying, check out these women, follow these women, research these women, and you will find that they are women of their professions, their words, and so forth. So I'm just excited to have them a part of our show, and it's a true honor. And we don't know where we're going all the way from here.
Going to the top,
we're going somewhere.
We're going past. Amen.
Yeah. You're going to be wherever you want to be. Dawn, how do we find you?
You can find me on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Dawn Strozier, Strzier. You can find me every Wednesday at the Blend.
That's right. Come on.
And Gilbert, how do we find you?
Oh, well, you can find me at smallbizpro.net, or you can find me at the buchanangroup.net. And my phone number, 626-533-1186.
Hey.
Give me a call, and that would be great.
And you can find me on I'm the co-director of Recycling Black Dollars, so reach out. We're actually in our middle of our 90/90 membership drive, and we're advertising in our resource guide, so that you have no excuse as to supporting a black business. You just check out the business. We got some fun, exciting things that's about to happen. You can catch up with me every Wednesday night at the digital marketing class. We're learning some amazing stuff, how to monetize your website and your blogs, to create optimize and create multiple streams of income. And you can find me at Mitchell Business Solution, the Business Zone, every Friday afternoon from 3 to 5 on YouTube and at morrismedialive.com. So we are at the top of our hour. Yeah. It was a fast 2 hours. So we want to thank everybody that's tuned in today. We want to thank our guest, Lavonda.
Welcome. Thank you.
And Dr. Peace. Yeah. And, of course, our special guest, Shirley, who has added such lively energy, more so than even we have. And we have some energy.
She's building more fans than we are.
And so come back next week, and we'll have some more amazing guests. And we are ready to...
Before we go,
wait.
Ladies, you guys are invited back anytime you want. So just let us know. We'll get you on this show.
Well, we got 2 more. Do both of the other doctors live in Los Angeles?
Yes.
Okay, so we got 2 more we can actually interview as well.
And maybe we can get all 4 of them on.
Yeah, all right. We have to add another chair. But thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you next week. LaRon, thank you for your help.
Mm-hmm. We're out.
And we are out.
As a small biz pro, I saw we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, I saw we grow, using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah. Crystal Mitchell, do you have my business plan? Just review the pages of my marketing plan. Crystal Mitchell, do you have my business plan? Just review the pages of my marketing plan. Got my capability statement, yes, I'm ready to go. Got my balance sheet, my P&L, my statement of cash flow. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah. I'm a business